A Michigan mother who lost two sons to fentanyl poisoning gave some heart-rending testimony before a congressional subcommittee today, urging lawmakers to do more to combat the opioid crisis and stop illegal drugs before they enter the U.S.
You would think that one death from fentanyl coming across our southern border would be enough to sound the alarm. I found out from the funeral home that they have tons of these cases regularly. If we had Chinese troops lining up along our southern border with weapons aimed at our people, this is a war. Act like it. Do something.
Now let's bring in the panel. Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall and the Dean of Pepperdine University School of Public Policy, Pete Peterson. Welcome to you both. The mom is right. I mean, it really is heart-rending, Pete, but she's right. This is a war, and right now we're losing.
We are absolutely losing, both in the number of deaths, 70,000 Americans killed with fentanyl overdoses in 2021, but also we're not stopping the flow of these drugs coming over the border. Even our federal government has said that they believe they're only stopping 5 to 10% of all the fentanyl that's coming into the United States.
And it's interesting, Leslie, because I know your side has often said, look, these are coming through the ports of entry, which may or may not be true. We know some smugglers are also bringing them out, but it's the amount. It's the vast amount which has increased. And I want to put this up on the screen because in 2019, the seizures were 2,500 pounds. In 2020, 4,700, almost double. 2021, again, almost double, maybe triple. In 2022, 14,000, and the number is not on the screen, but in 2023 fiscal year so far, it's at 12,500. This could bust the all-time record by a bunch. It's coming in, and the reason it's coming in, says CPB, is because the border is unsecure. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's coming in through ports of entry, and it's coming in, like you had mentioned, on vehicles. The other thing is the apprehensions. When you look at the pure numbers, 86% are American citizens, and here's part of the problem. Drugs aren't just from south of the border coming over to our border. You have to have people in this country who are complicit with this war of drugs. We've had a war on drugs that sadly we've been failing. Now it's fentanyl, but we've had a war on drugs in the past, whether it's crack, since before Ronald Reagan was in office. And building a wall isn't going to stop these vehicles that are coming in and out of the country every day from transporting goods that may have fentanyl on board.
Something was working in 2019 that is not working in 2023. When you've got from 2019 to 2023 about 10 times the amount of fentanyl coming across the border, it's a problem, Pete. Your thoughts?
It is, and we might as well just say where the drugs are coming from. Over 90% of all fentanyl is being produced in Mexico. And there's a unique Mexico-China connection there as well. The raw ingredients are coming from China into Mexico, and the cartels are running it up. It may be coming through ports of entry, but that's where most all of fentanyl is being produced.
And remember, we don't have enough CPB officers or border agents to protect adequately those ports of entry because they're scattered all over the border trying to stop people from crossing illegally. Moving on to China now, here's Senator Tom Cotton on the lab leak theory. Watch.
But what did the liberal media and what did Joe Biden and other Democrats do? When you point these things out, they called you a racist or a xenophobe. They said you were spreading conspiracy theories and all the rest. And now, 3 years on, I think most Americans recognize that it almost certainly came from that laboratory.
And yet we keep hearing, Leslie, there's no consensus. Can't somebody just say, okay, we were wrong. Let's try to fix this. Let's try to make sure it doesn't happen again. We're not hearing that from CNN to you name your favorite leftist politician. They won't say it. Your thoughts?
Well, there are a number of things. I mean, first of all, I don't need a politician to tell me what I, felt was true. And you have to look at actually medical professionals and what they were looking at, which is history. There's no virus in our lifetime that has come from a lab like this. And when we say, what are we going to do to prevent it? Well, that's a big question because China's going to lie. We're never going to have access to their labs or to anything going forward. What I would like to point out with China was a breath of fresh air today, seeing Democrats and Republicans working together because there are three huge issues that are honestly, bigger than Chinese balloons, which are human rights abuses, military power, economic power, and our dependency upon China, which could stop if we bought American and made companies bring all the companies back to this country.
But the fentanyl and the balloon are still factors in everything they got wrong in COVID, and nobody has said, I'm sorry, from mask mandates to, I don't know, you name it, lockdowns and everything else and school closures, they got wrong. I got 10 seconds for you, Pete.
No, I think that's right. I think COVID, we heard from FBI Director Wray, this has now become the consensus. All America has known about it, but finally the government is catching up.
Yeah. Pete Peterson, Leslie Marshall, thank you both.